Hello everyone, it's Friday night. I have pie and mash. Have dinner with me. I also got myself an XOXO. I'm not sure if you guys have this around the world, but this one is my favorite one at the moment. It's lychee flavor. It is delicious. So good. In the early 1800s, London basically boomed in size. The Industrial Revolution was pulling in people from rural England into the city, jobs in factories, in docks. The housing in London couldn't keep up with the amount of people that was coming in. This is a good mash. I had to put it in the oven, so it's still hot. Put the mash in the plate, and the plate in the oven. Because your girl doesn't have a microwave. I don't like microwaves. I think they're ugly. But it meant the top of the mash has got sort of a crispiness to it. So, this is where, people are looking for hot, cheap, and filling food. Things to kind of get them through the day. Go away, fruit fly. Oh, I have a bit of pepper in the back of my throat there. I'm going to get a chicken pie out. There's this new company in London called Willie's Pies. That's right, I said Willie's. This one is their chicken. I'm going to have to double check. This is their roast chicken and leek pie. So it's one of their more classic ones. Oh, it's not bad actually. So this is the inside. Looks really, smells amazing. So I'm going to talk about London's more classic pie and mash. I don't have eels, but eels is a huge part of the origin story of the pie and mash. So I'm going to talk to you about where that whole thing came across. The River Thames in the 19th century was full of European eels. They were easy to catch. They had lots of nutrients. So for these people that were living in East London, jam-packed, busy, living in poverty, the eels was the most accessible. Because of this, street vendors would sell these hot stewed eels. And when the broth cooled, the eels would sort of naturally form this jelly thing because of how much collagen was in the eels. So it meant that when it was stewed and then cooled down, the collagen sort of congealed to make what is now known as jellied eels, which you can still get in most sort of East London pie and mash, like OG pie and mash shops. I don't have a gravy boat, so I had to improvise with this cup. I don't know how I'm going to pour this. A little chicken pie with some mash and some gravy. By the mid to late 1800s, these eel vendors started to find sort of more fixed premises in East London. One of the longest standing names still operating today in London is M. Manza. I'm going to put a picture here. It's been operating since 1902, but it has eel trading routes that go way further back before then. These traditional pie and mash shops are quite distinctive in the way that its exterior and its interior sort of follow the same format. You have your white tiles, your marble counters, and your wooden booths. Being sanitary was really important for a lot of these establishments. It meant showcasing that you were a hygienic place to have food. And this was because during the times that these shops were opening, a lot of diseases were rampant, such as cholera, dysentery, that sort of thing. So in those early days, in these pie and mash shops, the main offering would be these eel pies with alongside a parsley liquor sauce. Parsley liquor sauce is not alcohol. It is the cooked stock from the eels mixed with parsley and then thickened. So it is an acquired taste. It's not something I've ever had before, and I'm not sure if I will. And I bet you're wondering, if eels were the staple dish for East Londoners, how did the beef pie become the new centerpiece? Oh my God. This is Willie's pie. I don't know why it still makes me laugh. This is Willie's pie. It is the beef and ale. Yeah, this is the serious one. My mouth is watering. So how beef became center stage is all to do with transport. By the late 19th century, railways made it easier for beef to be transported into London, which made it more accessible. It still wasn't sort of the main food, but it was something that was more easily available to people. Also, around the same time, the European eel population started to decline. And this was obviously due to overfishing. So that meant that the beef pie and mash started to become a more prominent dish that was available to people in East London. Damn. I love when the pie base, and it's probably not for everyone, but I love it when it's a bit doughy. So the traditional pie was made using hot water crust. Hot water crust is one of the oldest pastry techniques in Britain. Medieval cooks used to use this technique for their large meat pies because it was a strong and structured shell. You may have noticed before that the beef pie had a hole in it. This was to make sure that the steam came out and it stopped the pie from overflowing. I'm going to just bite this like this. I'm just going to touch briefly on the mash significance. Of course, it was usually quite plain in addition to the pie. And again, it was something that was super cheap, super easy to make, and efficient in ways that meant that you could make it in copious amounts. Gentrification has not been kind to these traditional pie and mash shops in London. Due to rising rents, changing in tastes, and eel consumption, has meant that a lot of these shops have had to close. A pie and mash shop, don't just view it as quaint. It began with river eels pulled from the polluted River Thames, fed dock workers who built modern London today. It survived cholera, war, and economic collapse. And it is still here. For this week, thank you so much for joining again. I really hope that this is something of interest for people. I really enjoy putting these together. And I do love food and I do love history, so this is perfect. So please like and subscribe and comment if there is something else that you would like for me to try. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week.